Oh, he's at it again, Alex. He's at it again.
Who's at what again?
He's that silly guy. You know him, you love him. You loved him when he said the N-word. You loved him when he said that let's get right into the news. The one and only killer Keemstar is at
Oh,
it again. And I wasn't even gonna. This initial incident occurred that you're thinking of, Alex. And I wasn't even gonna talk about it because I milked the Keemstar thing too much the first time. I like talking about silly internet drama. But the point stands that Keemstar was in the title of like 5 of the things I released in a week and a half period. So I was like, let me calm down on the Keemstar. So the recent thing that I elected not to really bring up was he announced on the Lolcow Live Twitter that he was not going to do the edits of the live streams anymore because, quotes, people were complaining about the re-uploads, which is completely and utterly retarded. And what this obviously is Keemstar making a move to try to get more people to become members for his stupid $10 a month membership, because the only way you can get those stream archives is if you're a member. So it doesn't really check out as a not scummy thing when you're like, yeah, a lot of people were complaining about the re-uploads because those live streams are already there. So like, we're just not gonna do the edit anymore. And like, you can watch the stream if like you're a member, but like, we're not gonna put out the edits anymore. So that pissed me off because the live episodes are my favorite ones. And I do not want to give Keemstar $10 a month. I don't think he's worth that much. So I guess it's just fuck me, unless I happen to catch the stream Tuesday at 6 p.m. and happen to have the time to watch it all the way through. But I complained about that in his replies. I got some likes. It was all cool. I got into some arguments with people. But
yeah, you're really getting deep into that Keemstar drama.
yeah, really deep. I got 20 likes on Twitter
That's more than I ever get.
and like 2 replies that I replied to. But
Anything I ever do on Twitter is against you, and you don't even acknowledge my tweet.
yeah, because that was a silly bit.
I think all my bits are great.
There's something in my fucking beard.
Shave it.
Yeah, I'll just shave it real quick. That'll help.
I'm gonna bring some clippers to your house and shave it for you.
You're gonna Riley me? You're gonna shave my arm hair forcibly? Except it's my facial hair this time.
Oh, of course, always. Why wouldn't I? That's funny.
I'm gonna come to your no, because that's illegal to say. That's illegal. God, fucking listen to the Dickheads podcast if you want to hear me complain about pearl clutchers. But anyway, so I had that interaction with Keemstar, and whatever. It's done. The Lolcow podcast just continues to take L after L. And then they tweet out about their members only live stream that's happening tonight. And in that tweet they said, and get this, right? You remember how a couple weeks ago, maybe not even a full month yet, Keemstar fired his editor Connor.
Yes.
And he hired a new guy and was like, this new guy's gonna be great. Fuck Connor. Everything's good. It's gonna be great. In this tweet that's talking about the members only stream, it is captioned "Help Wanted, New Editor."
Did he get rid of the other one?
Apparently the new editor's gone. I don't know whether he quit or whether he got fired. I assume they're going to talk about it on this members only stream that I'm not going to watch because I'm not going to give Keemstar $10 a month.
You shouldn't give Keemstar any money for anything.
If it was $5, I'd do it. That's such an easy ask. Like, oh, for $5 a month, I can just have these episodes, whatever. But 10, yeah, you're kind of pushing it, buddy. He wouldn't even
I
do
don't
more
think he
than
deserves
5, but,
anything,
like,
honestly.
I mean, I don't care what he deserves and what he does not deserve. At the end of the day, I just care about the content. So, like, if it was affordable, I might be willing to do it just because I like the live episodes. But it's too expensive. $10 a month is too much. And it's not worth it enough. And when you take something that was already free and retroactively make it a member thing, then that does not make me want to give you my membership money. It makes me want to not do that out of spite.
Exactly. Why would you ever paywall free content? That sounds backwards.
Yeah, it's really stupid. Like even the system they were already doing was stupid.
I
But
mean,
like
the
at
whole
least
thing is stupid, though. Like,
I mean the concept isn't stupid. It was an inspired concept. I think it was I think the show's pretty okay. It's content. I listen to it. I've listened to every episode. But it's not worth $10 a month. And it's definitely not going to get me to give it $10 a month by being like, you know those cool things you liked? Fuck you, bro. You better pay up.
that's just as asinine as us putting our video podcast behind a paywall. Like,
Is
if
this
you
where
want to
we
watch it,
announce?
you have
Is
to
this
give
where
us
we
money.
Is this where we announce that we're gonna put the video episodes on the Patreon? The free ride is I guess a show I liked did literally do that, but I'm more okay with that because like a podcast is an audio thing. So if you want to, as a be like, we have these video versions and you can get them as a Patreon bonus. That's fine. That's what Dick does. Totally cool with it. I'm less cool with it with the stereos because for some reason you have to be in his $15 tier to get the videos.
Yeah, but Asterios is broke, though.
But the thing is, it
You're
only
also
costs.
paying for patreon.com/Stereos.
That's true. That's true. No. The Sirius deserves the world. That's true. But the thing is, his actual bonus content is $2 a month.
What?
Yeah, you only have to pay into Asterios' Patreon $2 a month to get all of his bonus audio. But for some reason, he puts the video versions of the Loudest podcast at the $15 level.
That's a bit much.
Yeah, I don't know what. It seems so ass backwards. I would pay 5.
Yeah, 5 is reasonable.
I might even pay 10.
Dick
For
Masterson
15?
is at 5, isn't it?
Actually, Dick Masters is at 1 for the videos.
No, for the bonus content.
No, it's opposite. 5 for the bonus content, 1 for the videos of the regular episodes.
Then what do you get for the $10 tier?
Special Discord role? I don't know.
Huh.
I know 20 is the live streams. I don't know what you get for 10.
Interesting.
Let me take a trip to patreon.com/the Dick Show.
I mean, you don't have to. It's not that big of a deal. I'm just curious.
Well, I'm curious too and would like to know and have the power of the internet at my disposal. Then stop getting annoyed at me when I want to look things up that we're curious about.
Isn't there an entire problem on Biggest Problem about people looking things up?
There's an issue. There's a problem on the old show about people making other people look things up for them. I don't know if there's a problem
No, I'm
about
pretty
looking
sure
things
it's
up.
people looking things up in the middle of a conversation.
Well, fuck off. We have the power. I disagree with that take.
You disagree with that take.
Yes.
Cite your sources.
Hold on. Let me Google them.
Jesus Christ.
Private dick. Don't rely on leaked screenshots for your dick pics anymore. At this level, you'll get access to additional behind-the-scenes bonus content. Get your questions answered by my life coach or my man. You tell me who has it all figured out. I'll try to get Sean to give you an affirmative nod. This includes all levels beneath. Okay, so I guess you get behind-the-scenes shit.
I don't think you get anything anymore.
And yeah, I feel like I would have heard about it if there was behind the scenes dick going on at the $10 level. But regardless, yeah, Keemstar has lost again. He made a terrible decision about the live episodes, and then immediately, I guess he lost his editor somehow.
Well, if he's not doing edited things, why would he need an editor?
Well, no. How the Lolcow podcast works is they have a podcast episode that goes out on Sundays, and they have a live stream on Tuesdays that they edit into another podcast episode for Wednesday. So the Sunday episodes are pre-recorded and then they come out. So that's what the editor is editing, is the Sunday episodes.
That sounds so ass backwards, man.
What do you mean?
It seems
that
like a
part doesn't
lot
sound
of
ass backwards.
No, like the whole situation sounds ass backwards.
I don't think that's a bad system at all. You do one pre-recorded episode and one live episode a week. I think that's actually a pretty decent idea.
I don't know. It just sounds like he's fucking the whole thing up. He had a good thing going. People thought the show was cool.
Yeah, he had a good thing going, and then he fired his editor because he's a pussy. He tried to trick people into giving him money by taking away free content. And now apparently he has fucked up a relationship with another editor just a couple weeks in. So doing bad, Keemstar.
Just a stupid fucking moron. Just trying to make money.
Just trying to make money.
He doesn't even need it either.
He doesn't even need it, and like, if you want to make money, I feel like everybody knows this, right? If you want to make money as an internet creator, you have to give the free content to build the audience. Unless you already have an audience that you're confident will pay in. Like, you have to be like Anthony Cumia. He's the only one I've ever seen do it because he was on one of the most popular radio shows in history. So it could be like, hey guys, I have a new show, pay to have it, and people will do that.
Yeah.
But when you're just Boogie and Wings and Keemstar, you have to do the free show. And that builds a bigger audience. And then eventually, as you build a bigger audience, you'll have more and more people willing to pay in. Usually, most of your audience is not going to pay in. So you have a big audience, like say you have 1 million people, and like 50,000 of those 1 million people give you money. That is what you're aiming for.
Exactly. That's exactly what you're fucking aiming for. I mean, like...
So to just be completely predatory and without any level of sympathy for your free audience is ridiculous. To be like, hey, we have these live streams. We've always paywalled the full stream archives, but as you know, we release an edited version of the live stream onto the podcast feed for everybody to enjoy every week. We're not doing that anymore. Fuck you.
So, the news program 60 Minutes?
Yeah.
That'd be like if 60 Minutes was like, you know what, we're going to paywall the last 30 minutes of 60 Minutes. It sounds so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's silly. I hope that maybe Keem will take this one back. I think it's more possible than the Connor thing. There's not a person to be upset with in this case. So maybe Keem will see the error of his ways, but probably not.
No, he's too hard-headed.
I'm really curious to hear what happened with this editor. I'm gonna have to troll around some spaces after that members only stream happened and see if one of those pay pigs can divulge the information to me. But yeah, Keemstar, big lol cow, and he continues to prove that.
I mean, he runs the Lolcow podcast. I don't put it past him to be the Lolcow.
He finally admitted it too on what I guess is the last live show edit. He literally did say like he just decided he was gonna go along with it just casually because he was talking about like a meeting he had with Boogie and Wings and Tommy, and he was like, "Yeah, us cows had a meeting, and I'm saying that because I know you guys say that I'm the lol cow, so you know what? I'll accept it. We're the cows, all of us, and we had a meeting." So he just like casually accepted it.
I feel like that's a bit, though. I don't think he means it.
Yeah, probably not.
I think he's just playing into whatever fan base follows that show.
Which are all people who, mostly people who hate Boogie and Wings, and a lot of them hate Keemstar too.
Everybody hates Keemstar because he's a dick.
He is, and I didn't even realize. He tricked me for a while. Because I heard, like, back in 2016 or whatever, all the shit he was doing. And it's like, yeah, that guy kind of sucks. And then he did, like, a couple cool things, like, a few years later. And I was like, oh, maybe Keemstar's cool, actually. And then this shit happened.
Big, stupid fucking moron. Doesn't know how to run a show.
Big moron.
See, over here at Detour Ahead, everything's free.
They already do weekly members only streams. That's all you fucking need. You have a member Discord, you have a weekly bonus show. What else do you need to sell your fucking paywall?
Everything.
Unless it sucks and you're bad, so you have to resort to making free stuff paid, hoping that a few more people will slide in.
It's like a subscription service at this point.
Yeah, and they literally just there was literally just like a group of YouTubers who were like, we're gonna leave YouTube, but you can come watch us on this new subscription service. And then everybody was like, this is stupid. And then they made a video and they were like, you were right, that was stupid. We're sorry.
Yeah, but because
And
they're
then
all lolcows, they're not going to admit they're
Keemstar
wrong.
did this big controversy happened with these YouTubers, and then like days later, Keemstar makes this decision. It's just silly.
Anyway,
just real goofy, I would say.
Anyway,
welcome to Detour Ahead. I'm Riely. Here's Alex.
What up? What up? How you been? It's been a minute.
I've been I. I say that although this might have been like one of the worst weeks I've had in a while. But we living.
You chilling? You chilling this week? How's work going?
Oh,
any new girls there or anything like that? You risen anybody up over there?
I can't say that I am.
No, you gotta go rizz up the boss, get some more money.
Maybe.
Give me an extra $1 and I'll meet you here every week.
I had the classic like incel defeat moment where like a girl that I was kind of into just casually mentioned that she was going on a date with another guy, and it's like,
oof,
dag nabbit.
Oh man, that's rough.
It's not that rough. It's not like I had like something serious. It was just like, oh, that girl's kind of cute. Seeing someone. Biscuits.
Yeah, but it's still rough to hear that though.
Yeah, fair enough. But that's not why I've had the worst week ever, to be clear. Nothing in no particular incident that I'm going to describe actually caused that. It was a compounding of multiple things.
That's all right. We all have bad weeks. Some more than others, but you know. Let's see. This week. Work has been alright. It's been a very weird week for Ohio. Man, this fucking weather sucks and I want to get out of this state so fucking badly.
Where are you gonna go?
Anywhere. Anywhere else other than fucking Ohio. because the fucking weather. So I start. All right. So I start work at 6 a.m., right? 32
Mhm.
degrees this morning. All week in the morning, 32 degrees. By the time I'm almost done with my day, 70. 70 was today.
70.
It's ridiculous. It's the weather, it's terrible up here. I need it to be consistent. I need it to be fucking consistent. Let's see
Nowhere
here.
you go is the weather going to be consistent, you fucking autist. No place will that ever be true.
Go down to Florida. Hot, 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 hot. 24/7.
Yeah, but like sometimes it's 75 and sometimes it's 95, and those are two very different things.
That's like 40 to 60 for me up here. 70 and
Yeah, but
90,
when you're
there's
when you're
no
that
difference up here.
there is though, because 70 is
Because you're
like
used to warm weather, so you can tell the difference between 80 and 90.
you can definitely still, no matter where you are, you can tell the difference between those two things, because 70 is like nice and 90 is fucking you're burning too crisp.
70's way too hot.
Oh my fucking god.
Go move to the North Pole. Always cold. I get to throw out all of my t-shirts. No more t-shirts. No more long sleeves. Just hoodies on hoodies. It'll be great.
I've heard good things about Seattle. Apparently it rains a lot, which sucks, but in terms of temperature, I've heard it kind of stays in ranges that I'm
That's a
comfortable
little
with.
too far, though. I'm not trying to go all the way out there.
Understandable.
Um, let's see. One of my friends went to Fan Expo, I believe, 2 weeks ago.
Hmm.
I, I think it was either last weekend or 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure. Anyway, they brought me back a plushie.
Mm.
Now, I gave you a hint. This is not. It's a Pokemon plushie. It's a Alolan Raichu, my mascot for my YouTube channel. I
To be
love
clear,
him.
when Alex says she gave me a hint, she did in fact show me just the plushie's tail, but then she did just tell me what Pokemon it was. So I don't know if that's a hint.
Fuck off. Don't be fucking pedantic. You pedantic fuck. Don't fuck with me like that.
Because she showed me the tail and I didn't get it because like she was also showing me like part of the butt. So like I didn't put together that it was a Raichu tail. So I was like, "What is that?" And she's like, "It's a
Okay,
Alolan Raichu."
so this is him.
Oh my
Look how fat he is.
god!
Look at him.
Relatable character. Literally me.
He's so tubby. He's so tubby. I love him.
Buddy needs to lay off on the ketchup.
I love him. He's adorable. He's my favorite. He goes up on top of the plushie wall. Up there. Not there. Over here. Um, but I love him. He's bootleg, but not bad. Is he
I
Pokemon
have
Center?
two. I have two Pokemon plushies.
No.
They're both bootleg from a carnival. You can see one of them on my camera, kind of. There's a Bulbasaur. He looks good, but there's also a Squirtle that looks like it has birth defects.
I have a few plushies. They're not bootleg. I don't think I have any bootleg Pokemon. I want to get into that because I think they're awesome. And I think they're really funny. Um Other than that, I didn't not really much has happened, like at all.
Alex, I have a very important question for you. I forgot about. I've been asking everyone this. I did steal it from PKA, but I need to know all of my friends' answers to this question. It's very important. So, Alex,
Yeah.
imagine you have died, and the cause of death was autoerotic asphyxiation. caused by you doing the classic, belt in the door, choking yourself while you jerk off, and you died because you did it wrong.
Okay.
And I find you. Would you
You.
want me to, or any one of your friends find you? But I'm just saying me for the sake of the hypothetical. But
Okay.
if I found you having died from autoerotic asphyxiation via jerking off with your belt in the door, would you want me to report your death as is, or would you want me to pull up your pants and report your death as a suicide?
Hmm. Do you want an honest answer? Or do you want me to? Is this like a legitimate question, or are you trying to
This
get
is
me
a
to make a
real this is
joke?
a real question because it's like, would you rather? Do you want everybody to know you're shame that you died jerking off with a belt in your door, or would you rather them just think that you got too sad and you just ended it all?
As is. I don't think I'd let.
As is.
I don't think I'd want that changed.
All right.
Because one makes it my fault, but if it's reported as a suicide, then that might make somebody else think it was their fault. And if my parents are still around, they're going to take that personally. Do you
It's
know?
like a,
No. Do you understand what I'm talking about? You wanted me to be serious.
it's like a Romeo and Juliet situation where
I
like you had
mean,
where you had like
kinda.
where you had like a terrible fight with your girlfriend, and then you're just like, man, I'm so frustrated that I want to jerk off while choking myself. And then you jerk off while choking yourself and you die, and then it is reported as a suicide. And your girlfriend's like, man, I didn't know that she was that upset. Oh my God, how could I have done this? And then she kills herself.
See, if it gets reported as a suicide, that makes it sad. I'm not gonna kill myself. Everybody knows that I'm not gonna kill myself.
John McAfee said that too.
Well, John McAfee was probably killed.
Mm,
It's a 50-50.
no.
It's not like an Epstein situation.
Yeah, if you think Epstein killed
I want
himself,
to
you're a
say it's like
weeb.
a 49-51% type of situation. Like, he probably killed himself, but like there's also a good chance that someone took him out.
I think John McAfee was literally just playing like one final prank on us by saying he wasn't going to kill himself. Like he said that
Probably.
knowing full well he was going to kill himself just so people would like make up stupid conspiracy theories about his death.
It is a sad death though. That man was a legend.
It's true. I remember
But
when that guy was on Crippled Jesus' show. I think I might have been there live. I was not in it, but I might have been listening live. When Crippled Jesus got John McAfee on the Cripple cast, which is now Lost Media. It's unfortunate. What a great show the Cripple cast was. I think every podcast Crippled Jesus ever made is Lost Media, which sucks.
I wonder whatever happened to him.
Yeah, he seems to be off the internet, MIA. And he had like three different podcasts, and it seems that none of them are up anymore.
I think from what I remember, the last time we heard from him, he was in college and shit kind of went down because he was part of the Dick Show. Someone found out about it, started fucking with him. Teachers weren't too happy with him. I think reality hit him kind of like Asterios, and he's just like, you know what, I'm done with this. I think he just backed off, which is unfortunate. But I mean, it's
Another
been what
soldier
2.5 years, 3 maybe.
another soldier has laid down his gun and accepted defeat.
Yeah,
Man, I hope Asterios has a redemption arc someday. I hope he realizes the error of his ways, cutting out all of his edgy friends just out of convenience.
I have a
It seemed like
feeling.
him and Monkey were really close. And then he just kind of like completely cut him off. And it wasn't even like because of the Lou the Kitty shit. Like it was after all of that. When the Lou the Kitty shit happened, Asterios offered to let Monkey live at his house.
I would like to hope that one day Asterios goes back on the Dick Show.
I don't
I
even
would
care about the
like to
Dick
hope.
Show. I just
See,
hope
you don't
he.
care about the Dick Show as much as you do Asterios and Monkey.
No, but I just hope that he stops because it's not just Dick. Because like he had legitimate shit go down with Dick, so like I get that. But he cut out like every edgy creator that he's ever worked with.
But is he making money though?
Not any more than he was, I don't think. At least not like drastically more. I don't think his number's public if you're pulling up his Patreon.
No, it is.
How much is he making?
Patreon.com/Asterios. 1060.
Only $1,060 a month?
Yeah, a lot of people are probably doing the
Or is
one
that
in
1060 patrons?
462 members, 1060 a month.
$1,062. Okay, gotcha.
Well, because he gives everything away for $2.
That's true.
For $5, it's live tour shows. I don't know how many live tour shows he does.
He's done a few, and they're pretty good. So I paid $5 for a few months because I wanted to listen to the Boomer versus Zoomer live shows.
I don't know. I think if he bumped
and then 15 you get stickers and video.
I think if
and
he
then-
got rid of the $2 a month tier and bumped everything up to 5, I honestly think that he would make a lot more money.
Yeah, but at this point, like he probably just like feels bad. Like he's even acknowledged like on the show that like basically with all the shit that all the like taxes Patreon has now, the payout he's getting for $2 patrons is probably like 35 cents. But he's
That's why you bump it up, though.
Yeah.
Like, what's an extra
he's-
$3? You know, the people paying 2 would probably bump up to 3.
I think Asterios has more adopted the strategy of if I'm not predatory about the price, I can convince more of a percentage of my audience to pay in. Because he literally on the Loudest podcast lately, he will do that bit where he's like, $2, basically nothing nowadays with all the inflation. It's the equivalent to like what 35 cents was 10 years ago. You can give me $2.
I mean, that makes sense. I think he'd make a lot more money if it was 5 instead of 2, but
I think he'd make a lot more money if he put the videos at 5. Because I think like your average viewer would be like, yeah, I want the videos. I'll give the extra $3. But the average viewer is not going to be like, yeah, I want videos. I'll pay the extra $13.
yeah, I mean, it's all right.
Because the $15 tier already has the stickers, so that's the $15 tier.
Yeah.
Or even do a $10 tier for the video would be better. Does he even have a $10 tier?
No.
Yeah,
It's
so
2, 5, and
it,
15, I believe.
That makes it kind of like an even like 4 good tiers: 2, 5, 10, 15. But the videos at 10.
But
listen, going up to $15 a month feels like it would be hard to swing. 10, I probably would do. I'm just saying, Asterios, if you're out there, if you're listening. 5, I would definitely do. 10, I would probably do.
there are days where I'm like, I want to bump up to the $20 tier on Dick Masterson just to get the live show. But I'm busy every Sunday, and it's not worth it.
You see, the funny thing is, now that I've called into the Dick Show, nobody ever took the caller roll away from me. So I can't watch the video live, but if I ever want to hear the Dick Show live, I can just join the Discord call.
That's solid. I'll DM someone about that. Get that fixed for you.
Fuck off.
But you wanna get into what we're talking about today?
Sure.
So recently, I want to say about like a week or two ago, you know who the Wiggles are, right?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Do you know their names? I don't know their fucking names.
Well, the names of the original Wiggles were Greg, Anthony, Murray, and Jeff.
It sounds right. Um, so the Wiggles put out an album with either all their songs or all their classic songs. I only know I only know a couple of them.
Now let me fucking tell you, Alex. Alex was spreading misinformation about this album because I did some research, okay?
It's
The
got
Alex did
new songs on it.
Alex did ask me to listen to this album. I listened to one song. I think that's more work than anybody would expect out of me.
Which one?
But I listened to Fruit Salad.
Okay, yeah, that's the one
Is
I
the one
listened
you
to.
seem to be. Yeah.
That's the one everybody knows.
So I listened to Fruit Salad and I'm like, this does not sound like the old Fruit Salad. So I did some research on the album, and it turns out it is just EDM remixes of a Wiggles album that released, or no, of a Wiggles concert that they did like a year ago, and it was the fucking new Wiggles.
Was it?
Yes. The fucking new shitty Wiggles that are not the original Wiggles, because in 2012, Greg, Murray, and Jeff all left, and now it's just Anthony and a bunch of new people.
Got it. It sounded like the old
It
Wiggles.
might have been Anthony singing it, and it was like close enough to the old one, but like I could tell something was off.
Anyway, the Wiggles put out an album with a DJ Lenny Pierce. It's a compilation of, I want to say all the songs that the Wiggles show have done, but with
A good
like
bit of them. It was like it's all remixes of songs from a concert that was like a big blowout anniversary concert. So like they did a bunch of the like classic songs.
yeah, and they all have like a super dope fucking beat behind them, and it's great. Like Fruit Salad, it's a solid. That's a solid fucking song.
Oh, by the way, I have
Choo
a couple
choo
fun
chugga chugga
facts.
big red car. That's a good one
Great
too.
song. I have a couple fun facts to bring up about the Wiggles. I have too much knowledge of Wiggles lore, and I
Go
would
ahead.
like to share that to the world. First of all, I would like to tell you the story of a man named Sam Moran. Okay, this was the man who was screwed over by the Wiggles. Let me tell you about this guy. Okay, so way back, and I think like 2002 or thereabouts, one of the Wiggles, Greg, was like getting sick. So he decided, you know what? I'm going to retire from the Wiggles. We have this guy named Sam Moran who's been like a backup performer for us for a while. He's been like my understudy and done shows and stuff. So we're just gonna make Sam Moran the new Yellow Wiggle, and I'm gonna retire and try to deal with my health. So Sam Moran became the new Yellow Wiggle and remained so for I think about a decade. And then at some point, the decision is made that Greg is going to return to the Wiggles and Sam is just gone. And apparently, that breakup was not super pretty. I don't know the exact details, but I guess Sam had made some statements about it. It was like, yeah, they basically just fucking kicked me out because the cool old guy was back. And the ultimate nail in the coffin is Greg and Murray and Jeff retired like only a couple months after this. So Greg came back to being a Wiggle for less than a year. I don't even think half a year. And it completely screwed Sam Moran out of his job and then retired.
Oh boy, that sounds rough.
So rip my boy Sam Moran. I hope he's doing all right now. I don't know what he's up to. Um, Another thing that I know too much about because I watched a documentary is the Choo Choo Chugga Big Red Car amusement park ride. That I believe was at like a Wiggles themed like location at a theme park. Because I watched a documentary by Defunct Land, who is a YouTuber I highly recommend. He makes a lot of fascinating documentaries about amusement park rides specifically, and the Choo Choo Chugga Big Red Car ride apparently was like the worst. Like it moved stupid slow. Like the transitions were fucked. Apparently around the end of its life, they just stopped doing maintenance on it. So like the car got slower. Some of the lights didn't work. Like they ran this ride into the fucking ground essentially before they shut it down. They had no respect for the big red car.
Is this the documentary you were telling me about?
You would have to link it to me so
You
I would know
told
what you're
me
referring.
about a big red car documentary. I have notes on it.
Yes, yes, yes,
Well, a note, parentheses, big red car documentary.
yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure you brought that up.
I remembered it, so I brought it up myself.
Perfect. In my notes, it literally says, ask Riely about big red car documentary.
Yeah, the Big Red Car ride is one of several amusement park rides I know way too much about because I watch Defunct Land all the time. That guy is fucking. He's one of the best documentarians of our time. I swear to God. Fucking Defunct Land. He also does. He has a couple spin-off channels. I think Defunct TV is one of them. He does a bunch of these little documentaries about like amusement park rides and like TV shows and stuff, and they're really good.
You should do a documentary.
I should do a documentary
Yeah, go for
about
it.
what?
What do you? I don't know. What are you passionate about? Do a documentary on Power Rangers.
I mean, sure. I
Script
don't have the necessarily like research and journalist skills to make a documentary. I have some level of cursory journalistic knowledge because I did take it as an elective in all 4 years of high school.
so you have more
So I've
experience than most of the journalists out there.
so didn't we already do this bit yesterday?
Doesn't matter. You brought it up anyway. I figured I'd reuse a joke. You don't have to call it out.
So
You just laugh and go with it.
so yeah, some level of journalist stuff. At the same time, I do have like a great story about my journalism class, but unfortunately I can never tell it because it does dox me. Because very publicly available news that this happened at my high school. So I can't tell the story, unfortunately. But I did get a very interesting experience from being in journalism in my senior year. And I'll leave it at that. But it's definitely the highlight, not the highlight of my school career, but probably up there.
You should
So I got
here. Give me the information. I'll see if I can tell it.
you can't tell it because if I the story is public knowledge. If somebody Googles what this story is, they'll find my high school.
Yeah, but you can say you moved.
Well, it's too late for that. We don't edit these.
Man, if I had money, I'd hire an editor to edit this shit. That'd be great.
Or if you were willing to use some of the time that you do have, you could just edit it.
I don't have time. I'm an adult. Adults don't have time.
I edit fucking 5 shows a week. You can't edit one.
You're not an adult, so you have time. That's how this works.
What do you fucking mean? I'm 22.
Yeah, and your brain hasn't fully developed yet, so you have time.
Okay.
My brain's done. There's nothing happening up there anymore.
Done cooking.
It's done cooking. It's a
Fact,
fully
kind of
functioning
regressing a
brain
little
now.
bit.
Your brain stops developing after 25. Everybody knows
Yeah,
this. You
that's
got
why
3
you're
more
allowed
years to
kill
start
yourself
doing
when you're
whatever you want.
25.
Huh?
That's why you're allowed to kill yourself when you're 25. That's the advice. I have a bunch of suicidal friends.
No,
And
you
they're
gotta do it at
all
27.
young.
27 club. That's
27 Club.
the whole meme, the whole joke.
Maybe that's better, but that's what I say to all of my suicidal friends who are young. I'm like, listen, you're not allowed to kill yourself
No, see,
until you're 25.
you gotta push it to 26.
Why?
Because when you turn 25, your brain stops developing at 25, right? Live 1 year as an adult with a fully functioning brain. If on your 26th birthday you still want to do it, I mean, I
That's
don't know
fair.
what I
That
can tell you. One more
the basic
year.
logic the basic logic behind the 25 thing is that's kind of that's the age where you really become an adult, right? Like that's the age where you can rent a car, that's the age where your brain
Well, you can
finishes.
rent a car at 26.
No, it's 25.
I thought no, oh, that's right. 25 is rent a car, 26 is you have to go on your own insurance.
Yeah. So 25, you can rent a car. You're basically fully cooked adult at that point. So I'm like, listen, you're fucking 18 or whatever. You do not know what your life is yet. Once you're 25, you've lived a long enough life as an adult to make that call. But if you're fucking 18 or like 15 or whatever, fuck off. Your life is not what it's going to be yet. You reach 25, the life you're living is probably pretty close to the life you're going to continue to live. But if you're younger than that, you see, I do this bit, but then all my friends are going to turn 25, and I'm going to have to like be like, oh, I got to find a new bit now. All my friends are going to turn 25 and be like, well, I want to kill myself, and you told me I could. And I'll be like,
I don't
but
know, you're
like,
putting a
don't
lot of
though.
blood on your hands there, buddy.
But like, don't still though. I'm just saying, like, I believe in. There have been arguments about like suicide rights, and like, I believe at the end of the day, that's your choice. Like, we can't stop people from killing themselves, and making it illegal is the stupidest shit in the world. Like, oh yeah, what are you gonna do to me, Kappa? What is there left? Fucking stupid. Why is that a law? So it's like we can't stop people from killing themselves, and I understand that there do exist circumstances where a person can come to that decision and it is the right decision for them. I think those circumstances do exist, but they don't exist when you're a fucking kid.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. But anyway, back to the Wiggles. Um,
Yes.
man, I watched that shit all the fucking time as a kid. That shit was great.
I was really into it, but I was like really young, so I couldn't tell you most anything about it. I just remember being really passionate about it when I was like 3. I actually one of the first shirts I can remember being attached to was a Wiggles shirt. When I was like 3, I had a Wiggles shirt, and I loved that Wiggles shirt, and I wore it all the time. And then my Wiggles shirt got lost, and it made me very upset.
I don't think I ever had any Wiggles merch.
Well, I did. So fake Wiggles fan, you are.
Okay. Were there any other shows that you watched when you were a kid?
Oh, buddy. You see, I can't really think of franchises that I was into as a kid that I'm not like still into now, and people have heard me talk about it nauseum. Like when I was a kid, I was into like, Pokemon and Power Rangers
No,
and
like
Dragon
little
Ball
kid,
Z.
not like speaking age.
Pretty little kid. I don't know what I was watching before I could speak.
Or you know what I mean, like pre-K.
Literally Pokemon and Power Rangers. Maybe not Dragon Ball Z, but Pokemon and Power Rangers. Pokemon and Power Rangers, and like what else was I really into? It's like anything that aired on Jetix, I was probably at least cursorily into, like fucking Yin Yang Yo or whatever that show was. Uh, what was the show with the Brandy and Mr. Whiskers, I think, with
I
the
remember
bunny
that.
rabbit.
I remember that. I'm talking before that though. Like
Alex, these
PBS. Do
shows
you know
were airing when
PBS?
I
PBS
had
Kids?
you see, I never had an age where I was watching just PBS. The moment I gained access to television, I was allowed to watch whatever kid shit I wanted. I was not there was not like a controlled rollout of like, okay, now you're old enough to watch a Disney channel. It's just like, okay, you're old enough to watch TV now. Don't watch any of the adult channels, but like I could
Interesting.
watch Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network and Disney Channel and also PBS, which I did. I watched some Sesame Street or whatever. Fucking Cyberchase. That shit was pretty kino. Do you remember Grossology?
Gee, no, I do not.
It was just like it's one of those like Canadian animated shows. Like you know exactly the type. Like it looked pretty similar to like 16. And it was about like these two like teenagers who kind of like were superheroes, but like the like gimmick is like they're dealing with like a bunch of gross stuff, and it was like one of those shows that would like teach you science, but it was specifically science about like farts and burps and vomit and like gross shit.
I don't remember any of that. See, what I remember from when I was very, very young was Bear in the Big Blue House.
That show I like caught a couple times, but I didn't really get into as a kid.
Dude, that shit was so nostalgic. I want to go, like, there are days where, like, I want to go back and kind of just watch it and just see. But it was good. That was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. That, my sister was more into the Wiggles. It was, like, past, the Wiggles happened or got popular around the time that I stopped watching shows like that.
Actually, let me I have a funny story to recount. So, I was not banned from any of the channels as a young kid, but there were a couple particular shows. One of my mother's sticking points for a very long time in my childhood is that I was not allowed to watch SpongeBob.
Really?
Yes, because I guess the characters were too mean to each other was my mother's reasoning.
So,
So I was not allowed to watch SpongeBob. And I respected that rule for a really long time. I had like a I had like a fucking sweating bullets confession moment at like 12, where I was like rushing my mother to get home, and I didn't want to tell her why I was rushing her, because the reason I was rushing her is because I wanted to watch the SpongeBob movie. Uh, so like I'm like getting all nervous and shit, and eventually I admit it to her, and she's like, "I don't fucking care." Because like it's one of those things where like there was never a official declaration of you're now allowed to watch SpongeBob, but like I
yeah.
was old enough at that point that she's like, why would I care?
So the
uh,
same thing happened with me, but not SpongeBob. It was Ed, and Eddie. My mom abs would
oh,
not let me watch that. So there was always the way back when there was do you know about the previous button where you could like switch between two shows
the previous button.
on remotes and stuff? Some
Oh, like
TVs.
when Spectrum would let you just like skip back and watch the show that just aired, or like not
No,
Spectrum,
this
Bright
was
House or
like
whatever.
on the TV, you would go to like, let's say you were watching channel 3 and 5, right?
Yeah.
Instead of
Oh, so
hitting
you're on channel three,
5,
and then you hit five, and then but instead of hitting three to go back, you can hit like previous, and it goes
yes.
back to the
So
okay.
like you're watching Cartoon Network and Disney Channel. You go to Cartoon Network, you then put the number in for Disney Channel. All you have to do on the remote is press the previous button and you can switch between the two of them instead of like
Okay.
putting the numbers in. That button was worn out by the time I started getting older.
Oh, because you were so into Ed, Ed, and Eddie that you would have
I
on,
wasn't
and then like
so
if you
into it. It's like I don't remember how I felt about it when I was a kid, but it's that sense of not being allowed to watch something that makes you watch it.
That's true. I found and watched porn before I really knew like what the point of it was. Because I was just like, I know I'm not supposed to be watching this. I like dug up a DVD somewhere.
A DVD? What? Riely, I'm older than you. How the fuck did you find a porn DVD?
Probably like one of the old men who my mother dated. I don't know.
Why the fuck is it laying around?
It wasn't laying around. I used to fucking rummage around in my mother's room like a little fucking asshole.
Oh god, that explains a lot. So
I never really found anything besides that like one porn DVD that
you're
I
not
watched.
supposed to find anything.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it wasn't like I found a bunch of like terrible shit. It's just once I found that DVD, I was getting around the age that I would have figured it out myself anyway.
What, porn?
Yeah, like you find porn when you're like 13 and like you're actually looking for it and use it for its intended purpose. I think I was like
How do you
11 or
find out
12 when
about
this
porn if
happened.
nobody tells you about it?
Eventually someone tells you about it. I knew what porn was even at this point, but like I knew that I wasn't supposed to watch it and I didn't really like have an active desire to because I didn't have any sex drive yet. But I found the DVD and it's like, oh, I'm not supposed to watch this. So
Why
that
are we
makes you
talking
want to
about
watch
children and porn?
because it's me. So
I don't want
doesn't
to talk
matter.
about children and porn.
It was me.
I'm not a
I'm the
pedophile.
children.
I'm not a pedophile.
I don't know why this has to be a pedophile thing. Fuck the internet stupid pedophile shit. When I was a kid, I found this. It was me. We're
Man, look,
talking
I didn't
about
get into porn
me.
until like 8th grade.
How old are you in 8th grade? Like 14?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like 13 or 14 is when you actually start to like pursue it and use it for its intended purpose. I found this DVD when I was like 12. So it's not like I was like 5.
So you're early.
Yeah, I was a little early. I wasn't
That
really I
explains a
didn't
lot.
really. How does it explain anything?
Explains a lot.
I don't even know what you mean by that.
You're not supposed to get into porn until like high school.
I didn't get into porn. I watched the DVD once because I wasn't supposed
What was
to.
it about? Everybody remembers their first porn.
I think it was lesbian shit.
On DVD?
Yeah.
That your mother had.
I assumedly one of my mother's boyfriends had.
I don't know about that. I think there's something your mom's not telling you.
Yeah, maybe my mom's secretly gay and I could
Which
have figured
one?
that out at age 10 or whatever.
Which one?
What do you mean, which one?
That was a gay joke. Just boom, just right over your head.
It did go right over my head. But enough about the porn. Another point I wanted to make.
Are you done talking about pedophile shit?
Fucking goddamn it.
It's just so funny because you just get so flustered anytime someone says pedophile.
Yeah, because I'm sick of it.
And just don't talk about it.
I'm telling a story about me.
Yeah, but that could be construed. See, now some pedophile listening to our show was like, "Oh yeah, Riely was getting into porn at 13." You're giving them images in their head that they can masturbate to. That's pedophilia.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
You should apologize.
I'm sorry that I just produced child porn on this podcast.
You shouldn't be doing that. That's illegal. I don't care if it's you,
You're going to
me,
jail, mister.
I don't care. I don't care if they're illegal. Don't talk about it.
Okay, anyway.
I'm kidding.
So,
by the way, I want to clarify.
Obviously. But I just want to say this is a pretty good example of how even very early on in my childhood, before my father stopped being actively present, there was an obvious difference in how much I respected my mother's authority versus my father's.
Okay.
At one point, my father heard Drake and Josh from my room, and I guess it was like an episode of Drake and Josh where like something happened that was bad or whatever. you know, they get into fights on that show or whatever. They get into some shenanigans that perhaps might be too wacky for a 5-year-old. And I'm watching Drake and Josh in my room, and my dad's like, "What is this shit? Don't watch it
Oh.
anymore." And I did not pay that any mind at all. The SpongeBob thing, I would like I stayed true to it for years, and when I started watching SpongeBob, I treated it like I was sneaking it. I never listened to that Drake and Josh shit at all. I just kept watching Drake and Josh.
I mean, yeah, it's when your parents tell you don't do this, you're more
But
likely
I
to
didn't
do
even make
it.
it like a secret. I didn't even like it wasn't like, yeah, I'm watching Drake and Josh and I'm not allowed. I just like was like, no, Dad, I will not follow that command. And he just like I guess didn't care. I'm
See,
pretty sure I already had one of the movies on DVD at that point. I'm pretty sure I had Drake and Josh Go Hollywood on DVD. And my dad walked in my room and said, "You can't watch Drake and Josh anymore." And I was like, "Fuck you, old man."
I'm trying to think. Obviously, Curious
I guess
George.
that's another show that I
Oh,
was into from a very young age. I was watching Drake and Josh when I was like 5. So
didn't that come out in like 2005 or something like that, or 2006?
yes, and I was 5 in 2007.
Oh, that's right. You're a kid. I forgot about that.
I
I always forget you're like way younger than me.
was a very young child when Drake and Josh was airing, and I was watching it actively and had one of the movies on DVD.
Let's see. What else was going on around that time? Oh shit! I can't believe Dragon Tales.
Dragon Tales, Dragon Tales. Love Dragon
Dude,
Tales.
I was obsessed with Dragon Tales. Love that shit.
I liked the third Hispanic DEI added kid that they just added in like season 2 or whatever.
What?
There because the show originally starred 2 kids and then they added a third kid whose name was like Enrique or some shit. It was
Did
like
they?
Enrique or like Domingo. Like it was a very obvious Spanish name.
What? No. I think you're fucking with me. No, it was Emmy and oh shit. Hold on.
I'm telling you, they added a third kid and he was a Hispanic DEI character.
Enrique is Emmy and Max's new best friend and next door neighbor who
Yeah,
moved to the US from Colombia.
real. My boy Enrique.
This was a DEI hire. His recent experiences in South America provide more opportunities for the characters to demonstrate the meaning of new Spanish words, much like Dora the Explorer. What the hell?
Yeah. Shout out to Enrique.
I look. All right. I
See,
didn't know that.
when I was young, adding new characters to shows just like worked on me. Like it just worked exactly as the company is intended. Just like they would introduce a new character, and I'd be like, "Hell yeah, that's my guy right there." And that happened with Enrique. Enrique was like my favorite character on Dragon Tales because I was like, "Hey, they added this cool third kid. I like him."
I didn't even know. I thought because Emmy and Max are brother and sister. That's why it worked.
And then their friend Enrique joined their adventures.
Let's see. What else was there?
I
Did
just
you ever
ruined Alex's childhood by telling her about Enrique from Dragon Tale.
the fucking DEI hire? I didn't know Dragon Tales sold out, bro. That's so depressing. I didn't expect Dragon Tales to sell out like that, but I
Sweet
mean,
Baby Inc. consulted the second season of Dragon Tales, and they put Enrique in there.
let's see. You ever watch Magic School Bus when you were a kid?
That was more of one that like I never really pursued on my own, but they showed it in school a couple times.
Yep, same. Miss Frizzle. Man, I'm getting older,
Do you
and
know in the
like,
first episode of Magic School Bus, Arnold literally kills himself?
what?
Maybe it wasn't the first episode, but I think it was. Obviously, they somehow find a way for him to not be dead. But there's literally an episode of Magic School Bus where Arnold, in like a display of like desperation to get his friends and teacher to understand the gravity of the situation they're in space, and he's like, I don't even remember what he's saying, but he's like, this is terrible. Look at what's going on. And then just like to prove his point, he just takes his helmet off and his fucking head freezes.
Okay.
Arnold fucking killed himself. They drove him
See,
to the edge.
I mean, they always picked on him though. I don't blame him.
Arnold was so
Dude was a
even Miss Frizzle
pussy.
bullied him.
Everybody bullied him. That's why it's a 90s show and not an early 2000s. Because they were like, well, bullying's bad. We can't be
They went to
bullying the
space and he
nerd.
fucking killed himself.
Let's see. Man, I'm getting older. And I know I'm getting older. Because I go to these conventions and I see girls cosplay Miss Frizzle. And I'm like,
I've seen some bad bitch Miss Frizzles.
"Hmm,
I've seen a couple bad bitch Miss Frizzles in my day.
you're fucking with my childhood. I know you are. But fuck. You know you know what I mean.
Nah, bro. Any like sexy cosplay, I'm just even if it's like
It's not even
if
sexy
there's a
cosplay. It's just Miss Frizzle. That's it.
oh, okay, they're not even doing like sexy Miss Frizzle.
No!
Okay.
They're doing the full dress and everything with like a little chameleon or lizard on their shoulder or some shit. But I know I'm getting older, and that's
If
my
get,
fucking
if you have, like,
issue here.
if there's a hot enough redhead and she just dresses as Miss Frizzle, like yeah, I could see that. But I've seen like sexy cosplay of childhood characters, and I don't even care. You can show me a hot chick in a fucking Steve from Blue's Clues cosplay, and I'll be like, hell yeah. Just like get a really tight green striped shirt.
The other one I distinctly remember being super into as a kid was Blue's Clues.
I was like Blue's Clues, like I think I had a couple VHSs that I would cycle through. I think my friends had VHSs actually that we would cycle through when I was at their house. So I was kind of into Blue's Clues. I was really into this is not a show. This is literally a fucking promotional bumper on a channel. But I remember being very into the Face from Nick Jr. You remember that?
No.
So on Nick Jr. back in the day, their mascot just used to be this orange face who was literally named Face. And he would do silly little things, silly little face things in between Nick Jr. shows. And I was really into Face. I was a big Face fan.
I don't remember this at all.
You don't remember Face?
No.
You weren't watching that. You were watching Blue's Clues and you don't remember Face? Face was the mascot of Nick Jr. from September 1994 up to October 2004, when Piper replaced Face as the new host from 2004 to 2007. Sings songs, talks about the Nick shows that are coming next. He's a silly little guy. There was actually a new Face show. They brought him back.
What the hell is Piper Possum?
I guess the mascot of Nick Jr. after Face.
What the hell is this thing?
I don't think I've ever seen. Let me click on that. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen Piper Possum.
Let me pull this shit up real
Let's
quick.
see. Let's see. Is this gonna unlock a memory, or am I gonna be like, who the fuck is this shit? What the fuck? What is this? Who is fucking this shit? Piper Possum? He looks terrible.
What the hell? This thing's terrifying.
Yeah, faces. Well, I mean, in the right context, face can be pretty terrifying too.
Face is just a blue screen though. I don't know, man. That's a little, I don't know. That's a little sus to me. But Blue's Clues was lit. You ever watch Caillou?
Real quick, we're talking mascots. Before we move on, real quick, I just want to say, so you don't remember Face. Neither of us remember Piper Possum. Do you remember Moose and Z?
Moose and Z was after my time.
They were introduced in 2003.
I was 5 at the time.
Okay, that was already post Nick Jr. for you, age 5.
I grew up on PBS, not Nick Jr. That's the difference between you and me. I grew up on PBS. And if you remember, that's for, it says here, it's for Noggin.
Oh, they were on Nick Jr. sometimes as well. Did
yeah,
you not watch Noggin as a kid?
No, I did not.
I was super into Noggin.
I was moving on to more sophisticated things like Spongebob.
Noggin, I think, even had like a not kid part. Like I think Noggin had like the sort of Nick and Nick Jr. situation, except it didn't change names. Because I'm pretty sure fucking Degrassi aired on Noggin. Man, remember fucking Degrassi?
I never really got into Degrassi. My sister got super.
I never got into
Degrassi.
it either. I never lived with a sister, but I did. There was a couple of years where one of my mother's friends lived here, and she had a teenage daughter, and she was really into Degrassi.
Do you remember Clifford the Big Red Dog? That was another big one.
Fuck yeah. Shout out to Clifford. Love my man. The new movie was surprisingly good.
I haven't seen the new movie yet.
It's actually a fun story. I went to go see it in theaters. This was during the Halsey Khan era of the Rad Movie Review podcast, which only ran for like 8 episodes, where I had a movie review show with friends that I had in real life. And we went to see Clifford together so we could review it on the show. And nobody else was in that theater. So we're just like vibing, fucking like just talking shit while we watch Clifford on the big movie theater screen. It was awesome. And I think our Clifford episode was one of the best episodes we ever did of Rad. It was pretty funny. I think I was more positive about the movie than the other two were. I don't remember Dakota's opinions on the Clifford movie. I know Alexis hated it.
That's one thing I do need to go like and watch. Were you a Backyardigans kid?
Yes.
Yeah, see, 2 different generations. Backyardigans came out after my time.
Bro, Backyardigans kicked ass. Pablo the Penguin, bro. That guy was a G. I don't remember the names of the other ones. There was Uniqua. That was the pink girl. who was not a real animal. She was just a weird, unique creature, which is why she was called Uniqua. I don't remember the names of the other ones. I remember Pablo and Uniqua. I think there
Tyrone
was a. I
was
think
the
there was
kangaroo.
another. I think there was
Tasha was the
another
hippo.
DEI. There was another DEI character in Backyardigans. I think there's like a one with like a Hispanic name.
Oh, is it the moose?
What's his name?
I don't know. I'm blanking on his fucking name.
I thought you were just looking at the Backyardigans.
We got Uniqua. Do.
Well, I guess Pablo would be a Spanish name, but there was another one.
Pablo, Tyrone, Austin. Yeah, it was Uniqua, Pablo, Tyrone, Tasha, and Austin.
You see, Austin is who I was thinking of. I don't know why I thought he had a Spanish name.
No, Austin was the moose.
No, Austin is a kangaroo.
Oh,
I'm
Tyrone
looking
was
at
the.
the Backyardigans right now. Tyrone is the moose.
I'm getting them mixed up.
Austin was the kangaroo, who I thought I remembered having like an obvious DEI Spanish name, but apparently he's Australian.
Um, you Thomas the Tank Engine was before your time, wasn't it?
I mean, there were definitely like reruns I caught as a kid. It wasn't a show I was like super into, but I definitely watched it.
So it was before your time, but like a little bit of crossover. Okay.
I mean, there were plenty of shows I was super into as a kid that were before my time. Like, I fucking lived on reruns rather, of Boy Meets World. Like, I was super into Boy Meets World as a kid, and it was already off air, but those reruns were fucking on all the time, and I was watching the shit out of Boy Meets World.
Did you ever get into Teletubbies?
That
might have been before. That was before your time. Not might have been. That was before your time.
Teletubbies. There definitely were reruns airing on channels I did watch. So I saw some Teletubbies as a kid, but I never got like into the Teletubbies.
Man, Sesame Street's been going since the 70s.
Yeah, bro. The 60s,
what the
I
hell?
believe.
Well, 69. Teletubbies ran from 97 to 2001. I never really got into them much. There's Arthur. Arthur and Caillou both were just like real weird for me. I didn't really like them that much.
Caillou I was into. Arthur I kind of watched sometimes, but wasn't really into.
Did you watch do you know Zaboomafoo?
Yes! Let's go!
That's before your time. That stopped airing in 2001.
Yeah, so before I was born. But those reruns were running all the time on PBS. I was on that shit. Zaboomafoo is my dog. Rest in peace. We salute you, Zaboomafoo.
Did you watch Mr. Rogers at all?
No.
Really?
Never.
Never?
Never.
Huh.
I think I, to this day, have not seen a full episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
That's why you're the way you are.
Yeah, Mr. Rogers could have fixed me.
He didn't teach you good life lessons like he did to me.
I learned my life lessons from Drake and Josh.
You learned your lessons from probably Lazy Town. Do you remember that show?
Oh yeah,
the big meme show. Everybody knows about it, but
watched that
like,
show.
My sister was big into it. That's the only reason why I remember it.
Everybody knows about it, but they only know about
the memes.
Yeah, they only know about the how to be a villain song and how to bake a pretty cake.
We got Bob the Builder. That one was good. I like that one.
Gotta do the cooking by the book.
I think I'm running out because a lot of these are looking. Cyberchase, you mentioned that earlier, didn't you?
I did mention Cyberchase. Cyberchase kicked ass.
Man,
Gilbert Gottfried didn't do that show, did he? That was a sound alike. Because the bird did sound like Gilbert Gottfried.
Is this show still going?
It might be. It definitely went for a really long time. If it
No,
isn't still
Gilbert
going.
Gilbert Gottfried was in it. He did the bird.
Shit, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Are they still going? They're still going, I think.
Who's playing the bird now? Gilbert Gottfried died.
I don't know. But there's not an end date on this.
Cyberchase. Yeah, it's still on. It looks like. Let's see. Episodes. When was the last season of this show? It was 2023. For some reason, it was only 4 episodes long, which is a little
Well, didn't
strange.
Gilbert Gottfried die then?
Oh shit! Yeah, that might be true.
No, he died in 22. April 12th of 22.
Okay, yeah. So he died in 22, and then they made season 14, which now Ron Padro voices Digit. And the first episode of season 14 was dedicated to Gilbert Gottfried. And then for some reason, they only did 4 episodes.
Huh.
And it looks like season 15 of Cyberchase literally premieres tomorrow.
No shit. Damn, that thing has been going on for 20 years. That's crazy that a show like that would keep going when all these other ones didn't keep going. But
I always kind of assumed that had to be a sound alike, because why would Gilbert Gottfried do a fucking preschool show for 14 years?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh, good. Glad to know my noise suppression has been off for God knows how long. Fuck this fucking internet bullshit.
See, I keep that shit on all the time.
Yeah, but what it does is if you're like, it's either your CPU or like your internet is crapping out, it will automatically turn it off and say, we disabled your noise suppression to improve your performance.
I mean, I can also run noise suppression on the actual thing itself before.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, I got you.
Oh, yeah, it's not that hard. But I think I'm out of shows off the top of my mind and what's on the screen.
I'm trying to remember, because I was definitely deeply TV pilled as a kid. So there are definitely more. American Dragon Jake Long was pretty formative for me. I think American Dragon Jake Long walked so that Spider-Man could run for me, because I was not into Spider-Man as a kid for some reason. Like I had some weird aversion. I think because I had the first Sam Raimi movie on VHS and I didn't really like it at the time. So just like Spider-Man as a character wasn't really something I was into. Um, but the style of Spider-Man being like the superhero is a loudmouth teenager who quips at the people he's fighting, and he also has to deal with like high school issues, was something I think I was first exposed to with American Dragon Jake Long, which for those unfamiliar is a Disney Channel show in which a kid named Jake Long learns that he is descended from dragons, that he has the power to turn into a dragon, and that he is now the official American dragon, meaning it is his job to protect all of the magical creatures in the country of America who all live secretly. And he has to hide his identity as the American dragon and live his normal human life. And then meanwhile, fight evil magical creature bad guys as the American dragon. And I was really into that show as a kid. It's kind of hard to watch now because there's a whole lot of like mid 2000s slang in it.
I
It's
thought you were
real
gonna say
bad.
that there was a lot of DEI hires in
No,
there.
I mean one of the main characters was a black chick, so you know. I don't
Well,
know.
that was before DEI though.
So was Dragon Tales.
Then why'd you say? Well, no, that's clearly a DEI hire though. You don't need Enrique to make Dragon Tales good.
But you do need Trixie to make American Dragon Chick Long good, so that's not DEI. But yeah, there
Fair
was a whole
enough.
lot of like, yo, I'm the Amdrag. I'm the realist. I said the realist
Wasn't it set in
motherfucker
like
in
New
the
York or something like that?
Yes, it was. It was set in New York.
So they got
He's,
Boston kids doing
he
it.
said he said Mac Daddy a lot.
Yeah. What's wrong with
He
that?
says Mac Daddy in the theme song.
Anyway, I'm all out of shows. There's not really much that I remember. I'm also old, so
Yeah, there's probably a lot more, but I've gone through a pretty decent list. You never talked about Curious George, the one that's behind you. You like started to, and then we got into a detour, as it were.
that's the point. That's the point of the show. Sometimes we won't get where we're supposed to go. So
You're just like not ready to confront your memories. It's too like deep and emotional for you. Like I can't talk about Curious George. I'll start crying.
no, I had a video game when I was a kid on the Game Boy. That was pretty cool. It's like a 2D platformer. It kind of follows what the movie went over, the original one.
I
I
definitely
do
watched
want to
the TV
rewatch that
show on
movie. It's a good
PBS.
movie.
Yo, Curious George issue crew movie reviews featuring Kolochu.
Do you want to?
Let's do it.
Do I have a way to watch this?
Well, I mean, with enough effort, you can watch anything.
Now, which movie are we watching?
Is there multiple?
Well, there's the original Curious George movie that everybody knows about, and then there's 3 spin-off shitty movies.
Nah, I want to watch Curious George. I want to watch the real shit.
Yeah, we can watch that if you want to go do a Curious George movie review.
Let's go. I'm so down.
My initial plan was to bring Penguin on here and instead of like talk about all these shows, just dog the shit out of you for like an hour on why Bluey is the best show around right now.
I already said I would watch Bluey if we did an episode with Penguin where we talk about Bluey. We just have to plan it, and you have to give me episodes, and we'll do it.
See, that means I have to go rewatch it though. Lock down those good episodes. Anyway,
Okay,
that's
but don't make me watch your show.
that's a later thing. That's a later thing. I extended the offer to Penguin, but Penguin said that she didn't want to come on this week, so she had to go make food and take care of a cute couple things. But
Yeah, Curious George, good show to review. Out of curiosity, to bring up one of my shows again, just to get your experience with it, because you didn't really engage with me. Were you into Drake and Josh at all?
I
Back in the day?
was into Drake and Josh. I don't remember much of it though. It's actually on one of my list of things to go rewatch. Not the whole thing, but like just a little bit. But it was good.
Yeah, I think it still holds up 100%. Would highly recommend you get around to that as soon as possible. I've definitely rewatched episodes very recently. Very good show. The movies are both very good. If you want a good entry point into getting back into it, Drake and Josh Go Hollywood is really good. Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh, I think is excellent. It might be my favorite Drake and Josh thing. Which is weird because I'm pretty sure I put Drake and Josh Go Hollywood in my top 10 movies of all time and not Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh. But that was a couple years ago. I'm a changed man. My opinions have evolved.
That does sound
And
like a good topic episode. Bring in why, bring in top 10 favorite movies.
I mean, I already did that on the podcast just like a year and a half ago, and most of it hasn't changed.
So you haven't done it here. These people haven't heard it here. Are you gonna plug that shit then?
Yeah, go listen to top 10 movies of all time featuring Mo Diggity, the 5-part epic of the Riely Live movie review podcast. I'm not doing that again because we did it for 8 hours. It was split between 5 recordings, but we literally did 8 hours of content about our top 10 movies.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. It was pretty silly.
Anyway, is there anything else, or do you want to wrap up?
I think we could wrap up.
All right. Where can people find you, I guess?
linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe. That's RIELY Cinematic Universe. So many podcasts and YouTube channels you can check out, including another show that we do called the Dickheads Podcast, which can be found on the Riely Podcast mega feed, wherever podcasts are found, which is also conveniently linked in the link tree, of course. And so many more, folks. All sorts of content.
If you guys haven't already been watching, you can find the video feed of Riely and I over on the Coalition YouTube channel or Spotify. We are also on Apple Podcasts with just audio, if you prefer that. Thank you everybody so much for listening to Detour Ahead. I guess we will see you next Wednesday.
Next week. See you next Wednesday.